Sheikh, this is a question that Brother Abu Bilal had asked you last week, Jumu'ah. He was saying if he was on the motorway and he pulls into a service station and he has to pray his Fard prayer, if he can sit in the car and pray the Fard prayer in the car. And the answer you give, Sheikh, hinted that you can do so, and you even showed us how to pray sitting. But in the previous classes, you said standing is a pillar of the prayer. So I was a bit confused with that answer, Sheikh.
Did he ask me about voluntary or obligatory, Faisal?
Oh, he said Fard prayer, Sheikh. He said a Fard prayer. And he posed it to the service station off the motorway.
I didn't hear that word. We're talking about voluntary prayer, because I'm sure I'm saying my answer. I said voluntary prayer. If you ask me about obligatory prayer, please tell that guy you cannot pray sitting down an obligatory prayer. You have to dismount and pray standing up. Voluntary prayer we're talking about. This is, I'm pretty sure I said it is from the Sunnah. Yeah, Faisal said from the Sunnah, which has been abandoned to pray voluntary prayers while you're traveling. I'm sure I said that.
And I may have misheard, Sheikh. That's why I wanted to clarify.
Yeah,
Jazakallahu khairan.
Maybe he said some fard. I can't remember that, because Ahmed, if you heard that word fard, he should have waken me up. Maybe he was busy taking question, Ahmed.
And it was from our brother Abu Bilal, the co-host.
Abu Bilal, where is he, Abu Bilal? Abu Bilal is here.
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, I did. I was asking for the fard prayer, Sheikh.
And did you get from me the answer for the fard or the voluntary?
Yeah, I got the answer that I could pray my fard.
No, you can't pray your fard sitting down.
But only not when I'm driving.
Because your question was based upon another question from another brother before you, if you remember. You remember there was another question similar to that question regarding because he said to me the motorway or something like this, and you asked the question. No, the fard you cannot pray sitting down, ya Khwani, unless you're not allowed to stand up like in an aeroplane. And I mentioned that, I remember, in the aeroplane, I said, nobody's allowed to pray in the aeroplane. So in the car, you only pray the voluntary if you're sitting down. But if you want to pray the obligatory, you have to dismount. Jazakallah khairan, Faisal, for pointing that out.
Jazakallah khairan, Sheikh. Thanks.
So any prayer that you prayed before, repeat it. Yeah, admin 3. How's that?
Lot to do, Sheikh.
Is it? When was the last time that you have asked me this question? It's about 2 days. How many prayers you've done after that?
No, but I've done it before.
Praying,
so for example,
sitting down when you're on the car. Okay. So from the moment I tell you now, okay, everything's before khalas, forgotten. All right? Because you didn't know. But you will be sinned if you prayed those prayers without checking up. If you had some doubts in your heart that these prayers, they need to be checked up, and you did not check up, you will be sinned. Do you understand that?
Yes, Sheikh.
Yeah, you're going to be sinned because a person has to, you see, when you go to, for example, transaction or into a business, I'm pretty sure you're not going to go to the business until you make sure that everything's going to be okay. So if you're doing your deen, you have to do the same checking. But if you thought, I'm correct and I'm doing it, no problem. Just like that Bedouin man used to pray fast because he thought, Sahabi, he thought this is the right prayer. He must have been praying all his lifetime quickly. So the Prophet said, your prayer is not valid. Repeat that prayer. So he said, repeat that prayer. But he never said to repeat all these previous prayers because he didn't know. طيب. يلا محمد.